I'm not out of town. There's no pay-per-view to preview. It's not the end of the month, so I'm not doing a Q&A. It's not Friday, so I'm not doing a fan interaction. I think I can finally get back to doing the fights on Wednesday night. Wait. What do you mean there's an NXT pay-per-view tonight? Well, shit me.
There's gonna be a fight tonight!
What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz, Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, and after 4 solid hours of wrestling, I do have to say, because it's funny to me if nobody else, Spaz is tired. Spaz is tired. Anyways, in all seriousness, getting down to it. You guys know this is the fights on Wednesday night. We haven't done this in quite a while. Just the way that preview videos and Q&As and me being out of town, me being out of the country, I should say, have lined up. We haven't done these in quite a few weeks. As you guys all know, the fights on Wednesday night is my combination NXT SmackDown review show because SmackDown is shown on Wednesday here in Canada. Lucky me. I won't blame you if you guys cut out halfway through this video because, let's be real, none of the noteworthy things that happened tonight happened on SmackDown. SmackDown wasn't horrible, but if you put SmackDown, the WWE's B show, up against an NXT quote-unquote pay-per-view, it's just not going to measure up, is it? Even I'll admit that. So if you guys want to cut out after the NXT takedown, or this is why tired. NXT Takeover Unstoppable. There we go. Review. Then I won't hold it against you in the slightest. This, guys, was a fucking fantastic show. I'm not gonna lie. There was a lot of things that we were questioning going into this match. The status of Hideo Itami, the status of Sami Zayn, the rumors of who may or may not show up, how the main event would affect the Owens Cena match at Elimination Chamber. It's all good. We got one of the questions answered right away. We got a video of the parking lot outside Full Sail University, and apparently Hideo Itami got hit by a car. That's how they're writing him off the show to deal with his injury, rah-de-rah-de-rah. So we got Tyler Breeze versus Finn Balor one-on-one. Tyler's entrance was pretty cool, having all the girls out there in the matching fur and doing their selfies and whatnot. The way they set up the entranceway to make it look different from a regular show was a nice touch. If they want these special events, I guess they're calling them, to seem like special events and not just 2-hour episodes of NXT, they need to do touches like this, modifying the stageway, giving people more elaborate entrances, etc. I mean, when you talk about Tyler Breeze's opponent, you don't really need to talk about elaborate entrances. But a lot of little touches tonight that made this show feel special. It made you feel like you almost weren't in the NXT arena, which is always a good thing. Tyler out there, like I say, with the girls, the rampway all lit up, and it was all good. It was really, really good. But not to be outdone, Finn Balor's entrance is just fucking phenomenal. The body paint, especially, not just the typical demon stuff. The Eye of Balor painted on his back was just fucking remarkable. It's one of those things because you know you're gonna lose body paint in the match. The Eye of Balor on his back, it's almost sad that he had to fight because that thing was fucking pristine. He also had like some scars or whatever done up his legs. It almost reminds me, and I hate to bring up TNA on an NXT show, but it almost reminds me of the Wolves and how they have those painted on scars across their chest. Very, very interesting. I could have done without the silhouettes of the people on his, I guess, his side or hip or whatever that looked like there's people trying to escape his tights. That looked a bit awkward, not gonna lie. But as a whole, him with his getup and the horns and then the dreads like he usually has, but that cape or whatever he had that looked like bat wings, all fucking phenomenal. This guy belongs on the main roster right now. Not to put down Tyler Breeze, but fucking Finn Balor. Okay, even if he wasn't as talented as he is, Finn Balor is a character that needs to be on the main roster, is he not? But then we get to the match. Collar and elbow tie-up and a headlock by Balor. Elbows and a headlock and a takedown by Tyler Breeze. A shoulder and a headlock by Breeze. Drop kick by Balor. I'm sorry, guys. My writing is messy and it was written 4 hours ago. Springboard dropkick by Tyler, kicks Finn off the apron, which is a nice thing. Stomps by Tyler in a mud hole in the corner. A spinning neckbreaker by Breeze, which is nice. A snapmare and a leg drop by Breeze. Breeze rides a headlock for a long time because he's a bad guy, in case anybody forgot. Both men trade elbows and knees, and they're stiff and they're good. You need a moment like this in the match where you just go toe-to-toe with a character like Tyler Breeze, because he's all about, you know, being the fancy, being the pretty boy, rah, which makes it look like he wouldn't be tough. But you have moments like this in the match where he just rights that wrong, doesn't he? Where I lost my place now. Low drop kick by Balor, chop and a low hesitation drop kick by Finn Balor. Hesitation drop kick done by anybody. I mean, Austin Aries is the king. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. But hesitation drop kick by anybody looks fantastic. Foot stop by Balor on the outside. Balor chops and kicks in the corner. Sling blade by Balor. Supermodel kick by Breeze. Another mud hole in the corner by Tyler Breeze. Balor eats the exposed turnbuckle that was exposed by Tyler earlier in the match, and eats a beauty shot. Flying elbow. Sorry, I can speak, I swear. They brawl to the outside where Balor sort of runs up the one side of the rampway and comes back with a flying elbow, which looks really nice. He then climbs the not the Titantron, but there's a structure just under NXT's Titantron, and he climbs up that, and he's posing, and he's ready to do a splash. The great thing about this is the way they do this, and the way Tyler Breeze is set up to take it, and the way Finn Balor just has the crowd in the palm of his hands. The crowd is not chanting for Breeze. They're not chanting for Balor per se. They're just chanting, "Please don't die." That is fucking phenomenal. Splash off the Tron by Balor to the "Please Don't Die" chant. Coup de grace once they get back in the ring, and Finn Balor is your new #1 contender. Oh, and fuck yes. Dana Brooke and Emma versus Charlotte and Bayley. And Emma, it has to be said, is so fucking sexy, it's scary. I'm just putting that out there. But Dana and Bayley start. A slam by Dana and a catapult clothesline double team by the babyfaces. Bayley shoves Emma. Like, hard shove to the ground. You know, there's nothing much technical about that, but it happened. Bayley drop kicks the heels through the bottom rope. They're by the post there. If you picture, it's one of those things. It's kind of like trying to explain the Sami Zayn flying DDT. They're here, and Bayley comes through here and drop kicks both of them. I suck at explaining it, obviously, but it was a nice, neat little spot. Emma pulls Bayley off the top rope, but she doesn't just pull her down. She swipes her feet so that when she falls backward, she cracks her head on the top turnbuckle. Then we decide we're going to work the head with a neck vise and some mud hole stomps by Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke looks like a beast. So it's very obvious. Emma and Dana Brooke, I could definitely make the Beauty and the Beast joke, but I'm just not going to, because I'm not that kind of guy. Bayley eats some more turnbuckle, because the back of her head didn't get enough of it already. The Emmamite sandwich on Bayley, and then the commentators quickly correct us that because of Emma's new heel turn, it's no longer called the Emmamite sandwich. But they don't tell us what it's called now, because they're special. Emma hugs Bayley and then slaps her in the face, which is nice. Modified suplex slam by Bayley. Charlotte and Dana brawl for a bit. Charlotte hits a double DDT on both of the heels. Crossbody by Emma. Charlotte rolls through and locks her in the figure 8. That bridging version of her dad's figure 4 that is so fucking amazing to look at. Emma takes out Dana and natural selection. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. That should be Bayley. It says Emma takes out Dana, which doesn't make any sense because they're partners. What my notes should say is Bayley takes out Dana so that Charlotte can hit natural selection on Emma and Charlotte and Bayley get the win. I don't understand the value of a Divas tag team victory because there's no Divas tag team division, but it was a nice match. And speaking of a nice match, much better than most people thought it was going to be, Rhino versus Baron Corbin. Stiff, and capitalized stiff. Collar and elbow tie up to start. Shoulder by Rhino. Boots and elbows by Corbin. Rhino tosses Corbin out of the ring. They trade punches for a while. They knock each other in and out of the ring a lot. That's a trend for the night. They start trading punches. Corbin knocks Rhino off the top rope, off the top turnbuckle to the floor. Corbin works Rhino's back against the apron, against the rail, against the apron, the old pillar-to-post gimmick. Rhino eats turnbuckle and then face plants. Like, takes the turnbuckle to the back and then does like a flare flop. type of idea. Mudhole stomp in the corner by Corbin. Slaps Rhino in the face. Oh no. Oh, just oh no. Double shoulder tackle, both men down. It's if you picture the typical double clothesline spot, imagine that, but with shoulder tackles instead. It's not something I particularly remember seeing before. It's not spectacular by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a nice little take. Trading punches, again, this was always going to be a brawl. There's going to be a lot of trading punches. Rolling clotheslines by Rhino is interesting. Spinebuster by Rhino when he fails to get the belly-to-belly. He finally does hit the belly-to-belly. The gore is countered into a clothesline. Rhino, big, bad, scary spark plug Rhino, goes for the gore and gets countered by a simple clothesline from Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin then, regains some of the impressiveness, hits the end of days on Rhino, and gets the win. This match will not set the world on fire. I'm not gonna lie. People that went into this show thinking that this match could possibly be the piss break, I don't blame you. It's the least, I don't want to say the worst because it wasn't bad, but it's the least great match on the card. It is the nicest way I can possibly put it. Enzo and Cass versus Blake and Murphy. Oh yes. Enzo and Cass, another set of talent that should just be on the main roster right now. Take out the Matadors and put Enzo and Cass in the Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. Enzo and Blake start the match. Quick roll up by Enzo, crossbody by Enzo, drop kick by Enzo. Murphy chops Cass for reasons. Cass tosses him across the ring because he can, because he's big and look at me, I'm powerful. Running splash in the corner by Enzo, top rope crossbody by Enzo, apron clothesline by Murphy, which is nice because, as anybody that watches TNA knows, the commentators remind you 25 times an episode, the apron is the hardest part of the ring. Backbreaker and a face lock by Blake, a snapmare into a headlock by Murphy, mudhole in the corner by Murphy. Murphy eats the post, shoulder first. Abdominal stretch by Blake, powerbomb backstabber combination by the heels on Enzo is a nice spot. I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time for Blake and Murphy, but that powerbomb backstabber combination that they have is a nice move. Second rope flying DDT by Enzo. You think he's going to do a tornado DDT, but it's not. He just jumps and brings him straight back. Again, because it's not quite what you expect, it really makes you stand up and take notice. Hot tag to Cass, boots for both Blake and Murphy, sidewalk slam by Cass. Alexa Bliss attacks Carmella on the outside. Alexa Bliss then tosses Enzo off the top rope due to a distraction, and Blake and Murphy get a quick, cheap roll-up victory. And the loudest boos you can possibly imagine. I mean, it's great in a way, because the volume of the boos for this ending show you how behind Enzo and Cass the crowd are, but it makes you wonder if NXT in this particular situation has gone from something that's going to piss off the crowd in a productive way to something that feels like giving the crowd a bird. I don't know what this was. The match was good, and like I say, Blake and Murphy aren't as bad as people say they are, but they're not that great. Enzo and Cass, like I say, should be on the main roster. Alexa Bliss, Carmella, I could do without both of them, quite frankly, but two girls that I could not do without are the girls that fought over the NXT Women's Championship tonight. Dear God, I swear to you, and this is not trolling. This is not any hate on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. This is not any other bullshit like that. This was the match of the night. This match made Becky Lynch. Point blank. Becky Lynch was the star made tonight on this show. And I dare anybody to debate me on that one. Becky Lynch comes out with a new look. It's kind of like a steampunk meets Fifth Element type thing. Her red hair is now like this weird bright orange color. She's got the goggles and the shorts, and it's a cool look. It's different. It's going to make her stand out for sure. It's a little more standout-ish than, just tights that say BL on them. Sasha Banks is just the awesome heel that she is. Start with a collar and elbow tie-up, arm lock, and a trip by Becky. Pinfall reversal sequence goes on for quite a long time. Becky works on Sasha's arm a lot. Rolling arm drags by Becky and a spine board... This is how bad my writing is. Springboard on my notes looks like a spine board. Now, if somebody can tell me what a spine board is, put it down in the box below. Springboard thrust kick by Becky off the second rope. Sasha hits an arm wringer that makes Bayley faceplant on the apron. Basically, she puts her in, gets her in an arm wringer and drags her down, but she's doing it on the outside, so she falls down to the floor, and Becky faceplants right on that edge of the apron. It was so well done that it looked like a painful botch. Obviously, it wasn't, because they kept going and like her face wasn't destroyed. We get a good little thing here, because Sasha works on Becky's midsection in the ropes for a little bit, but then we get this sequence by Sasha that is great. Sasha rides a headlock, transitions it into a straitjacket choke, holds the straitjacket choke as she pulls her back into a backstabber, holds on to that straitjacket choke still, and turns it into a surfboard. This is fantastic. This is, if anybody remembers when Melina was in WWE, and basically she was pulled back, she was so flexible that they pulled her back so far into submissions that her foot was touching her head, and it almost became cliche for a Melina match. This was like that. It's like, it's a headlock. Now it's a straitjacket choke. Now that straitjacket choke has pulled you into a backbreaker. Now the straitjacket choke is being combined with a surfboard, and it never left. This part of the hold never left. Working the neck, working the back, working the lower back, working the shoulder. It's all fucking brilliant. Sasha hits 2 knees to the arm in the corner. That move that she usually does, where she puts somebody in the corner and brings her knees down on the midsection. No, she's been working the arm the whole match, so she brings down her entire weight on her knees through friggin' Becky's arm. It's great. Twisting armbar by Sasha, standard armbar by Sasha, short arm scissor by Sasha, all working the fucking arm. You gotta think at this point that Becky Lynch's arm is a piece of limp spaghetti. But Becky proves me wrong by countering. And she doesn't only counter, she counters from the short arm scissor into a one-arm, belly-to-back, cradle fucking suplex. It's beautiful. Leg lariat by Becky, top rope drop kick by Becky, top rope arm drag by Sasha, coming off the rope and whipping her across the ring by her injured arm. 2 running knees in the corner by Sasha. Sasha eats post on the outside. A few various, I'm not even going to try to mention them because there was a few in a row, but various nice suplexes by Becky. A suplex that gets rolled through into an armbar by Becky. Now we've got a storyline where both of the girls have fucked up arms. It's great. Sasha hits a suicide dive. Becky sort of struggles to catch her and slams her into the steps. But not the typical, like, you know, you get thrown towards the steps, or, oh, you take it on the arm or whatever. No, fully lifts her up and back slams her into the steps. It's great. Sasha pulls Becky from the top rope and hits the banks. Becky goes to the top rope to do a top rope something. It gets countered. She gets pulled down into the bank statement for the win. This match was fucking great. The friggin' tears you can see in Becky Lynch's face after this match tells the entire story. The ovation, once Sasha leaves the ring, the ovation that Becky Lynch, who did not win the match, gets tells the story. The fact that the crowd hums the first couple of bars of her entrance music for her tells the story. This match was fucking phenomenal. Why are we beeping? Why is this a thing? Sorry, guys. Really? Really? I'm sorry. This is a thing. I disappear for 4 hours and watch wrestling, and people wonder where I've gone. Anyways, yeah, I hate to say this because we're about to go into the title match, but guys, I'm sorry, like I say, to all the Zayn fans, to all the Owens fans, and all the fill-in-the-blank in a moment fans, this was the match of the night. I may be wrong about Paige and AJ. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks could be the next Trish Stratus and Lita. I'm just saying. Zayn versus Owens. Throughout the night, we've been seeing when Zayn took on Cena, when Owens stepped up to Cena. We've had video packages, the whole spiel. I'm sure on the pre-show there were some interviews. I didn't watch the pre-show. I was doing some other things. And 4.5 hours of wrestling is a bit much. Owens comes out in a John Cena shirt. not just any John Cena shirt, the new United States Championship, the champ is here shirt, but he's got his NXT title on. So when it says the champ is here, it's pointing to his NXT belt. That's fucking wonderful. Owens bails instantly. Mind games start right off the bat. Elbow off the steps. Sami Zayn follows him outside the ring, chases him around, uses the steps to do a Hardy-style poetry in motion type of leg lariat. That's the first actual offensive move of the match, and that's a nice way to kick it off on the right foot. Brawling! Lots and lots of brawling. Brawling on the outside, brawling on the inside. A clothesline and a back body drop on the outside by Sami. Owens eats the steps twice in a row. More outside brawling. Crowd brawling. Blue Thunder Bomb in the center of the ring. So just brawling, 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 brawling. Wicked, almost could be a finishing move in the center of the ring, and then back to brawling. Over-under suplex by Sami. And I'm sorry, Sami Zayn being a smaller guy doing the over-under suplex on a guy like Kevin Owens is always going to look impressive. Top rope tornado DDT is countered into a backbreaker by Owens. It's so fucking fluid that the first time it happens, you almost miss it. The commentators almost miss it. The commentators even say, Rich Brennan and Byron Saxton and Corey Graves, who were great this entire show, by the way. I haven't mentioned them because usually we only mention commentary if it's bad, but these guys have been great. Even they say when they go back to the replay, hey, did that happen? Did he manage to get a counter or not? Is that why Sami's not getting up? Exploder suplex by Sami Zayn. Exploder suplex on the outside by Sami Zayn. Pop-up powerbomb by Kevin Owens on the apron, just like the day he debuted. Mounted punches on Zayn by Owens on the outside, and it just gets really uncomfortable after this. Referees come out, we know the match is going to be thrown out. Mounted punches. We have a long, delayed referee and doctor and officials type spot where they pull Owens away, and he beats him down some more, and they pull him away, and they beat him down some more. Owens drags Sami Zayn back into the ring by his fucking head. It's wonderful. Regal comes down to the ring, tries to stop him, clawing at his face, etc., and he gets owned by Owens, because that's just what happens. Owens gets a steel chair. He's just about to destroy Sami Zayn with the chair when an unrecognized piece of music comes out. But oh, not an unrecognized person that comes down the ramp. It's Samoa fucking Joe. But not only is it Samoa Joe, I don't know if you guys are gonna know what I mean by this. Not only is it Samoa Joe, but it's Samoa Joe. The commentators call him Samoa Joe. His Titantron says Samoa Joe. Okay, and I know you don't, you guys might not notice the same things that I notice. I notice weird things. On most of the WWE t-shirts, you've got that little tag on the bottom of the shirt that says WWE Official. The NXT shirts have a yellow NXT Official tag on them. His official NXT shirt says Samoa Joe. So all the things where everybody's like, oh, WWE's gonna fuck up and call him Hawaiian Tom when I called into the heel Steven show and said they're gonna make him the long lost third Uso Joey, is all out the fucking window. What we have in the center of the ring, and you can hear the commentators say it over and over and over again, is a stare down between Kevin Owens and Samoa fucking Joe. That's how you end a show. These guys will be a license to print money. My thought on this, though, I would love it if this is Owens' last show on NXT. I would love him to be done with NXT right now, because they've just teased us. So have him go up to the main roster, have him have his match with John Cena, have him start his main roster career, and wait until Joe moves up to WWE, because by that point we will be salivating and fantasy booking it for so long that as soon as you put that on a main roster WWE pay-per-view, that will be fucking bank. I mean, if they do it at the next NXT show, I won't mind that either. If they do it on NXT, on a regular weekly NXT, I won't mind at all. I want to see the match. But I've seen just enough that I want them to tease us a little more. I hope that makes sense. I hope that doesn't sound like I'm talking out of my ass. Guys, fucking... It's times like this that I wish I did, like, star ratings or, like, ABC ratings or whatever. I don't. All I can say is what I said to a couple people I know tonight that weren't able to watch the show. Go watch the fucking show, if you haven't. That's it. That's all I can say. I'm not going to sit here and kiss anybody else's ass. Joe's here. We're going to get Joe versus Owens at some point. Becky Lynch, her fucking star was launched tonight. even as I say, even the matches that I didn't care about, the women's tag and the Baron Corbin versus Rhino, delivered. The tag team match didn't give us a really wonky finish, but the match itself was great, and the crowd is so into Enzo and Cass, it's unbelievable. NXT, honestly, honest to God, I know I've got a lot of shtick for NXT fans because they walk around like NXT can never do any wrong. They didn't do any wrong tonight. NXT owned the fucking shop tonight. And for those of you that want to leave the video now, I bid you a good night. For those of you that want to stick around and hear what I thought of SmackDown, which is, as I say, always going to pale by comparison, but tonight on SmackDown started with Roman Reigns. He's got some bad news. He didn't win at Payback, but he's got some good news. He had some fun at Payback because it's always fun punching Rollins in the face. He talks about the one night only Shield powerbomb. He talks about what an honor and whatever it was for him to fight his buddy Dean Ambrose. He said he wants a number one. He says he wants a one-on-one match with Rollins, but it's never one-on-one, so I'm going to toss my name into the Money in the Bank, and I'm going to win it. Believe that. Ambrose comes out and says, I love the idea of Money in the Bank. Too bad by the time Money in the Bank comes around, I'll already be champion. Kane comes out, and I've got it all written down, guys, but he basically talks a lot of shit, says Roman Reigns will not be in the Money in the Bank, says you're at the back of the line as far as the title match goes. Ambrose, much like he did on Raw, starts taking a lot of shots at Kane, running him down, talking basically he's the authority's bitch, etc. But he makes the reference to, you used to be a brother of destruction. Referencing what he said on Raw, that Paul Bearer and The Undertaker would be ashamed to see where he's gotten to. Kane freaks out, makes a rematch tonight on SmackDown of the match we saw on Raw between Wyatt and Ambrose. Reigns gets nothing. He gets to reflect on all the failures of his career because he has the night off. The first match of the night is one that was really hard for me to write notes on, so you're going to have to bear with me. The Ascension versus the Matadors versus the Lucha Dragons versus Kid and Cesaro in a Four Corners tag team match with the primetime players and all three members of the New Day on commentary. It is as fun as it sounds. Kid and Sin Cara start. There's a pinning reversal sequence, much like there was on the NXT show, that goes for quite a bit. Connor and Kid trade punches for a while. Kid puts a sharpshooter on, I think, Fernando, one of the Matadors. Matadors double team Kid. Front slam by Connor on Kid, and we go to commercial break. We come back, crossbody by Sin Cara, an arm drag and an elbow on Victor, but Victor comes back and stomps Sin Cara. Ascension do their double team slam. I don't know what it's called. I want to call it the End of Days, but that's Baron Corbin's move. On Sin Cara, Victor powerbombs Kalisto. The Matadors and the Ascension brawl for a little bit, because that's a bit of an odd matchup. Cesaro hits a Billy suplex and his now famous series of uppercuts on Victor. Cesaro hits a one-arm spinebuster on Victor as well, just because he can. And then Cesaro and Kid hit the swing and kick combination. Head scissor DDT by Kalisto on somebody that I didn't write down, obviously. Kid hits a suicide dive on everybody on the outside, and Kalisto hits a really, really botchy looking sort of backwards head scissor thing on one of the Matadors for the win. Very anticlimactic ending, because nobody gives a shit about the Matadors, but they got to see Kalisto do his thing, but he botched, so 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The next thing we see to build towards Elimination Chamber, because WWE builds their pay-per-views, it's fucking great. Barrett versus Ziggler. Quick roll-up by Ziggler to start. Barrett rides a headlock. Mudhole stomps by Barrett in the corner. A headbutt and an elbow by Ziggler. Corner splash neckbreaker combination by Ziggler. Second rope tornado suplex by Barrett, which is nice. It's funny because you imagine the tornado DDT to be something done by a cruiserweight, somebody like Kalisto, for example. But when you see Barrett go up to do the tornado part of it, and just see him plant his feet again and hit the suplex, it's fucking wonderful. Commercial break. We come back. Barrett riding a headlock, reminding us if we forgot that he is a bad guy. Drop kick by Ziggler. Waistland by Barrett. Barrett works the back against the apron, against the rail, against the apron, against the rail, pillar to post, as you would imagine. 2 boots by Barrett, but a super kick and a zigzag get the win for Ziggler. There was a segment in the back between Ziggler and Lana where he basically says, you know what, I know what you're doing. I know you're trying to make Rusev jealous. I know you're trying to screw with him, and I'm okay with that. And by the way, you're a good kisser. Fantastic. Paige comes out, making me smile. Oh, it's a night of ladies tonight, is it not? It's good to be back, and last time I checked, I was in my hometown winning the #1 contendership, and then they go to the bullshit that eventually became Naomi's heel turn. They show up video packages, whatever. It's like, oh, you know, I understand what you did, but congratulations, you're finally relevant, and you even got yourself a boyfriend. Goes on quite a roll about how Tamina's a dude, and she's in the wrong division, etc., etc. You took what's mine, this is my division, this is my house. Naomi comes out and talks and talks and talks some bullshit. I swear to God, I want to claim assault on whoever gave her a microphone on behalf of my eardrums, because I will say it again, she is the black female Scott Steiner, but less. And the crowd agrees. The crowd, and don't tell me this is piped in, because WWE's not going to pipe in heckling. They chant huge, boring chants at her. Naomi and Tamina go in to double team Paige, which is fine. Nikki comes in and takes them both out, and then hits the rack attack on Paige. Which is what I love about this, is the initial rivalry is Nikki and Paige. Nikki was getting double teamed on Raw. Paige came out and took out these two goofballs by herself, and then made her statement against Nikki. Nikki came out tonight, took out these two goofballs by herself, and then made her statement against Paige, because that's where the focus is. These two are an afterthought. WWE doesn't quite understand that, though, because we've got Nikki versus Paige versus Naomi in a triple threat match at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in a week and a half. That's fine. Naomi's going to lose. The flying chocolate camel toe of death does not get you a Divas Championship. I will weep for that belt if this happens. I mean, at the end of the day, Naomi comes out with Tamina. Nikki should come out with Brie. So even if Paige and Nikki are competitors, you could still get Nikki and Brie and Paige taking out these two goofballs. And that would be a thing. Bring up one of the girls from NXT and just put this in a chamber. I'd be such a happy kid. Truth and Stardust again, because we haven't seen that enough. Hip tossed by Truth, and then a whole lot of stuff from Stardust, including a hangman, a dropkick, a straitjacket choke, because he was watching NXT clearly, a clothesline, a disaster kick, a dark matter, but Truth gets up and hits the little Jimmy out of nowhere, and Truth gets the win. Why? There we go. We replay the Owens-Cena interaction from Raw, which is nice. The Mega Powers, which are still a thing, which makes me so happy, versus Adam Rose and Heath Slater. A headlock by Slater starts the match, an elbow by Sandow. Hangman on Rose by Sandow on the outside is nice. Rose and Slater double team Sandow. Sorry, double suplex Sandow. Then Rose and Slater double team Sandow using quick tags, in and out, in and out, in and out. It's actually, for two guys that are not actually a team, they actually work quite well together, which is frightening, if I'm honest. Rose rides a headlock for a long time, in case you forgot that he's a heel. Back suplex by Sandow. Axel comes in, hulks up, boot, leg drop, Mega Powers win. They do the posing. It's fine. It's wonderful. I love that they've got it down to the point where they come out to Macho Man's music and they leave to Hogan's music, and everything's just great. Axel has committed to the Hogan gimmick with the goatee and the fake hair and the bandana. It's I don't care. Like, sometimes there just needs to be comedy, and when it comes to comedy, these guys have got it fucking on lock. It's just a thing. Ambrose versus Wyatt, because it's a thing. Ambrose starts with a headlock, and it's countered into a slam by Wyatt pretty quickly. A trip and a leg lock by Ambrose, but Ambrose works the leg in the ropes. A knee and a crossbody by Ambrose. Ambrose takes Wyatt out of the ring. Wyatt tosses Ambrose into the steps, and we go to commercial break. We come back from the break, face lock by Wyatt, knee to the head, and a slam by Wyatt. Trading punches for a while, ends in a knockdown by Wyatt. Wyatt goes to do that suplex from the second rope to the floor gimmick like he did on Raw, but Ambrose remembers how that went and counters it into a tornado DDT on the floor, which is great. Corner splash and a corner clothesline by Ambrose. Drop kick by Ambrose on the outside. The 619 style clothesline knocks Wyatt over the commentators table. J&J Security try to interfere. That fails. Rebound clothesline on Wyatt by Ambrose in the ring. Rollins comes out to interfere, but Roman comes in to counteract that. In the process, Roman gets a Superman punch in on Bray Wyatt, which leads to dirty deeds, and Ambrose getting the win. It's a good little match. It didn't last very long. It wasn't spectacular, but, you know, Ambrose is making a statement. Roman is making a statement. J&J Security are just being annoying. I hope that they don't tie Wyatt to the Authority too closely, because then we get sort of like a corporate ministry vibe, and I don't think we need that. But in the meantime, the fact that they're just using Wyatt as a weapon because they can, because they own the company, is a great little thing. It's like, okay, we have the Authority, rather. There's a bunch of us, we could all double team you, or hey, we own the company, we can throw whoever at you we want. It's a nice little thing, and the Superman punch leading to the dirty deeds is cool too. A little bit of build. Most people should be happy, or most people I would assume are happy, that Roman Reigns has no part on the Elimination Chamber card so far. Ambrose is in the title match, a bunch of other people are in chamber matches. There was a really, really awkward segment in the back with Bo Dallas talking about Neville and comparing him to a wounded bird, and he's going to nurse him back to health and let him fly and shit like that. Again, Bo Dallas, just don't give him a microphone. It's a thing. But if we do get the rebirth of the Bo Dallas-Neville feud from NXT on the main roster, and they decide to throw that on the pay-per-view, honestly, I won't mind it at all. Elimination Chamber for a random ass thrown on pay-per-view 2-in-1 month type thing. It's shaping up to be a pretty damn good show. It's gonna have to do something to compete with Unstoppable. I'm not gonna lie. Unstoppable. Yeah, it's NXT Takeover, Unstoppable, Unbreakable, whatever it was. I'm tired. This is a thing. Let's clap with your buddy Spaz Phoenix. Spaz is tired. Spaz is tired. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all of these conversations going. Guys, Q&A is coming up soon. Get your questions in now if you want them to be in by the end of the month. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, tagging out. Bye, guys.